In our conventional world of biochemistry and cellular biology, we focus on a Newtonian belief of a material world. Through the history of science, we focus on the mechanical reality and have let go of the concept of energy and fields as information in biology.
1875 to 1920 was this enormous growth of biochemistry, and it was then thought that chemistry is possibly, we're a chemical machine. The answer is to put the right chemical in the body and you'll get better. To a point, that's correct. But it doesn't appear to be correct for chronic disease. It's correct in the short term. There was a major intellectual split going on at the time in physics because the old Newtonian world, the clockwork universe, was going strong, and a few crackpots in Denmark, Germany, and to a lesser extent England, developed quantum physics and said that it doesn't work the way you said it works. It doesn't happen like that. And there were huge anomalies found in physics that could not be explained. And the upshot of this was that the old idea of a mechanical universe, where everything happens for a specific reason in its own way, had to be dropped.
If I was a potential patient coming to you to use your system, how would it work?
What happens when you're a patient is you go and visit a practitioner. They then do this analysis scan on you, which we call provision. They put their hand on a device, and up on a computer screen comes up a picture of their body, and it tells them which part of their own operating system, i.e. which part of the information that controls their own biology is going right or is going wrong. And then from that analysis, the practitioner will then select what we call infoceuticals, which are information inside remedies that will then direct the body's own healing response to get them better. I'm Harry Massey, founder of NES Health, and I want to introduce you to the next revolution in healthcare. I had a vision to build a healthcare company that encourages and gives people the tools to take responsibility for their own health.
One of the fundamental things that has to change in the future of medicine is this focus on the gene as being the solution to every illness.
The new science is just mind-boggling because it reveals that through epigenetic mechanisms, through the influence of the environment on reading the genes, epigenetic mechanisms can produce over 30,000 different variations from every gene blueprint. And all of a sudden you start to recognize that, you realize we have potentials that are totally unlimited. And this is a great change from a belief that genes were deterministic. Now genes are potentials.
Just as you can build two different buildings with the same bricks and cement, if you have two different plans, you can build different organisms with different fields.
We think the body field is what decides which piece of information is taken from the DNA.
There's a hierarchy of fields organizing our bodies. There's the field of the whole body, there's the fields of the organs, and then the fields of the tissues, and then the fields of the cells within those. Field of our own body is within and around the body. There's an overall field, and then there's subsidiary fields, sort of modular fields for arms, legs, and the different organs. The advantage of fields is that they're intrinsically holistic. All fields are holistic.
There are receptor cells, receptor protein cells, on the outside of the cell, which are simply there to receive environmental information. How is my day today? What is going on out there? What does the body want this little cell to do today? You see what I mean? There has to be intercellular communication, but there has to be one source so there can be one control system for the body.
Morphogenetic fields, or more generally fields of information, yes, are control systems over and above the molecular level or the biochemical level. They're systems that organize the body, they organize the developing organism.
It's time for us to bring these qualities of healing into the mainstream conversation about what is necessary to create an optimal healing system.
NES Health has developed a therapy that works with the human body field, the body's intelligent, self-healing, self-correcting, energetic and informational structure that functions above the level of genes, in other words, epigenetically. What we have accomplished at NES Health is truly revolutionary. We've created a scientifically sound theory of how information transfer works in the body. Now, the science behind the NES system spans over 20 years of research by Peter Fraser and integrates research into the fields of physics, quantum biology, and Western and Chinese medicine. The result is the first accurate map of the human body field, which acts as the master control system of the body.
Well, the system is such that the part of the scanning software I found to be remarkably accurate. I did a show in London about a year ago, and it was very interesting. I had quite a big crowd and I was doing a demonstration. And there was a couple of doctors there who were quite young doctors, trained as GPs. One of them said, "Well, can you scan me?" I said, "Sure, no problem." So I did the scan. I asked if they had any particular health problems. They said, "No, you just tell me. You just tell me." I thought, it's going to be interesting. So I went through it fairly quickly in about 10 minutes, and usually there's a bit of feedback, and it was completely quiet. And I thought, it's nice to have some feedback. And I eventually turned around. There's quite a big crowd by this. I turned around and said, "Well, does that ring any bells with you?" And her mouth fell open. And the other doctor who was there had done a lot of tests on her because she had some serious health concerns. And we'd hit every major problem came up. And they were virtually speechless.
Now, the NES system is the world's first system where you're able to view a map of the human body field and directly correct distortions found in that map, triggering a healing response using the NES Health, NES Infoceuticals and NES Nutrition.
We went and experienced the NES, and immediately just the ease of use of the device, the preciseness of it, we bought it right away. And in practice, the first day I started using it, I saw the accuracy of it. I was just ecstatic at how quick and accurate it was.
NES has devised a proprietary method of imprinting subatomic particles with NES information in a base of organic colloidal minerals. Now, each infoceutical, it restores the information that corrects specific aspects of the human body field, and the information falls into categories that are related to different aspects: the energetic drivers, energetic integrators, energetic terrains, and energetic stars.
My son had a very bad hamstring injury and he was carried off the pitch, and my dad brought him home and had to carry him in the house, and I used the My Health after sport just for 5 minutes on the hamstring, thinking really not too sure what's going to happen here, and next morning he got up, ran down the stairs, was up and about as though nothing had happened. And I mean, the injury was pretty bad, so yeah, so he's like, anytime he hurts himself now, "Where's the My Health, Mum?"
The NES system detects a wide range of reliable and consistent data about a person's current state of well-being. In subsequent testing, it reveals the changes, improvements and alterations that might have taken place over time, and which layers of the body field might still need to be addressed. The scan over time reveals deeper and deeper levels of imbalances, so a person's readings are dynamic rather than static. And in this way, the NES system is a powerful tool for preventative health analysis.
It's non-invasive, it's immediate, it's extremely quick, and it's extremely comprehensive in all that it looks at. You just won't find that type of an assessment anywhere else that I'm aware of.
So I like the accuracy, I like the effectiveness, I like the simplicity, and above all, I like the safety. The safety factor is huge. There are no side effects from the infoceutical.
1988 was when I started becoming ill with some mysterious health problems that, nobody could figure out what was going on.
She had no energy. Her energy level was gone completely. She couldn't even hardly lift her head.
I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer when I was 20. which resulted in having to have some surgery, and they actually removed all but a fourth of my thyroid gland. I knew that this was the answer.
How she felt slowly started to turn around for the better, and it has done nothing but get better from each day forward.
And I felt so good that I just cried. I just sat up in the middle of my bed and I just cried and cried and cried.
Information becomes a type of energy because it's an orderliness in space, all right? So they are interchangeable, but on the other hand, in practice, what happens is you get a wave of energy, and then upon that wave you can get imprinted information. And the amount of information you can imprint appears to be limitless.
Now, information medicine, medicine that takes information and changes disturbed information patterns, is the future of medicine. The control system of the body is not genes or chemistry, but information that seems to be available in the body field. Is it possible to put new information into the body to affect wellness? This is exactly what a number of researchers are now doing.
We've learned how to stop the distortion of information that occurs as a result of various disease processes. Once you stop the distortion, surprisingly enough, the physiology begins to work, the chemistry comes right. There are really wonderful healing stories to be told here. And it's simply because we've learned how to correct the distortion of information in your body field.
Disease is, in a sense, scrambled information. If we can access the appropriate information, we can correct the scrambled information, and that's what a number of energy modalities are doing. At NES Health, we conduct clinical trials, outcome studies, frontier science techniques, and proof of concept studies. Over the last 10 years, we've seen amazing documented results. For instance, results from a large outcome study conducted in 2011 in which 127 professional practitioners from the UK, Germany and Holland took part, showed that the NES Health produced a positive change in 88% of cases after a 3-month trial. The conditions that responded best were acute physical conditions, although there was a considerable positive effect on long-term conditions too. Now, interestingly enough, the results obtained using the broadcast mode were comparable to those using on body, and this is something we have since successfully reproduced with our practitioners and trainers. In the latest study on long-term fibromyalgia sufferers, we have a report of a third of all subjects being completely pain-free at all trigger points at the end of the study, which is an extremely significant positive effect for this particular condition with no current orthodox treatment. But in addition to that, 71% reported no morning rigidity at the end of the study, another 71% reported a decrease in levels of anxiety, 79% an absence of headaches, and 85% reported a lack of depressive symptoms at the end of the study. Now, thermography has also been used to investigate the efficacy of the NES therapeutic system. Using a thermal imaging camera, images were taken of subjects before and after NES Health therapy using broadcast-only mode, and as is seen from this case study of a massage therapist with pain in the fingers and both thumb joints, just a 6-minute MyHealth session using 3 simple functions applied off the body led to a significant change in blood flow as visualised by the camera, accompanied by a reported relief in pain severity levels. And for more information, please visit us at neshealth.com.